What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 4, Lucky Day. Man, Doctor Who is on such a hot streak lately. This is our second Doctor Who light episode we've gotten in this new series. First being 73 Yards, now we got Lucky Day. Both having to do with Ruby, too. Isn't that kind of interesting, though? Both Doctor Light episodes have Ruby in them. But oh man, this was a fun episode. Doctor Who's been on such a hot streak lately. This is the episode that I was pretty nervous for, to be completely honest. I just wasn't sure. It's not written by Russell T. Davies. It's written by the guy who's doing the spinoff War Between the Land and the Sea. So I was just kind of worried that, like if this one's bad, that series might be bad. And I had a really good time with this episode. The first bit did trick me. I knew something was up with Conrad, but I was like, okay, where is this going? I know the Shriek isn't like the big bad. Like, I know there's got to be more. What's going on here? And then we get to the twist with Conrad. From that moment on, I fucking loved the episode. It is so good. He was like the perfect little shit, but you wanted Kate to release the Shriek and kill him at the end of the episode, or at least bite up his arm. You wanted that.
At least your special effects are improving.
Anyways, though, the episode starts out with the Doctor and Belinda meeting Conrad in 2007 as a little boy. I'm not sure if they said how old he was, but he was a young little lad. The Doctor gives him a coin. He wears it later on. It's his lucky day. He's very, very happy with it. But so they get out of the TARDIS. They are doing their Vindicator stuff. They're chit-chatting. They see a little boy. The Doctor's just really nice and sweet to him. Makes his day. It's very nice. Then the Doctor and Belinda leave. The little boy runs over to his mom on New Year's, and she fucking slaps him in the face and says, "Shut the fuck up. The Doctor ain't real, idiot. I'm getting drunk. Leave your mom alone."
You're spoiling my night.
And he's like, I'm gonna go become a conspiracy theorist online, Mom. Fuck you. And that's what happens. Then we get the title sequence, and Doctor Who starts, baby. It's 17 years later, and Conrad sees the Doctor and Ruby. This is I'm so curious why they chose this time. Maybe this is the only time they could fit in. They put them 30 minutes after the Devil's Court episode in season 1. Ruby's talking about she just met the Beatles. I think she says, like, Paul owes her money or something like that. One of them owes her money. Or a lesson. I don't know, they owe her something. Conrad ends up watching Ruby and the Doctor run after the Shriek. We get to see them have a cool little adventure. Ruby ends up getting marked by the Shriek and has to drink this gross little potion to, like, make it stop tracking her and want to kill her.
The pheromone gets absorbed into your blood and marks you as future prey.
And meanwhile, while all that's happening, Conrad's just following, stalking, taking pictures, and being a real creep, basically. I was really hoping that we were going to get a scene here that was in between that 6 months that we missed between the first episode and the second episode, I believe it was, last year. It's just so odd that we just don't see any of that. I'm sure it's books and all other kind of information, but I was hoping to get some in there. But we also get, I might have jumped around a little bit, but we also get Conrad and Ruby doing Conrad's podcast together, Think Tank, and she's talking about the Doctor and all of the adventures she's been on, and just kind of like opening up to him, and we get to see them like start to become boyfriend and girlfriend together. So then eventually they go out on a date together. They end up gushing more about the Doctor. The Conrad, explains his story to her about the Doctor. She ends up, I think she's getting like a little suspicious there about like the flickering lights and all that shit, because like she just told Conrad about everything that when the Shriek comes by, she mentioned every detail down to a T, so he could copy it perfectly later on. I don't know how he copied it that perfect, but he did. So she calls Kate to double check that the Shriek's locked up. She's like, hey, things are getting pretty weird out here. Do you have that thing locked up? And Kate's like, yeah, it's good. And she goes, thinks back at Conrad. She tells him she has PTSD. She kind of starts explaining some more shit. But in the middle of Ruby telling Conrad all that information, the Shriek shows back up. Lights start flickering. Hell breaks loose. She tells people, stay indoors. And they're like, no. And she's like, okay, well, fuck off. Go outside then. I don't care. But then she goes out on her own to take down the Shriek. Then Conrad shows up right behind her. They kind of have a little moment, but then they're like, no, we're going to go get this together. I'll be like the Doctor. We're like a pair, Which is so cringy. I don't know why she was like, oh, cool with that with him, like wanting so much to be like the Doctor. That'd be a big red flag for me. Conrad did admit, like right before they went out there too, that he didn't take the antidote, so like the Shriek would still be coming after him, because he technically is still marked. He touched it when he was taking pictures of them, or some point like that, he got marked. But this is where we get the real big fun turn of the episode. So they're heading towards the Shriek. Unit shows up, helicopters, cars. They're ready to take down the Shriek. The two Shrieks stand up, take their masks off. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode. And it's fucking Conrad's buddies. And he hired everybody. This is all fake to expose Unit. And this is when he fucking becomes Big Dick and is the whole villain of the episode. But so after his big speech and everything, Unit arrests Conrad and the gang. I did like that. But strangely, after he gets arrested, which I guess is not so strangely because it's kind of real, Conrad gets a press tour. He's going on all kinds of news things. He's got magazine covers. He's everywhere talking about how unit is fake, it's CGI, it's people in costumes, actors hired, it's not real. We do find out too that he was trying to work at unit apparently, and Kate didn't trust him. That's what sent him off. He was like, well, fuck you guys then. I'm on a revenge mission to take down unit. How about that? You're not gonna hire me, I'll take down your whole business. And your stupid little dad, too. Which that was fucked up. I can't believe he made fun of her dad.
Or are you a coward, like your father was?
Don't remember the guy's name, but some dude breaks Conrad into unit. He ends up killing that guy. I think he killed a couple other people, too. I don't know if he knocked him out or killed them, but there was a couple other dead bodies there. But he ends up taking an elevator up to the top of unit. Gets up there. They have a whole big conversation back and forth between Kate and Conrad. It's mostly those two. Anytime Ruby talks, he's like, hey, the adults are talking. Shut the fuck up, Ruby. Stupid.
The grown-ups are talking!
But they're yelling at each other, and Kate gets pissed. And eventually, Ruby's like, you're lucky the doctor's not here. Kate's like, yeah, because he would have stopped me. And she goes and hits a couple buttons on the keyboard, opens these doors behind Conrad, and unleashes the Shriek to come attack him. To be like, okay, well, you want some proof that you don't think the Cybermen are real or Daleks or any of that shit? Well, here you go. Why don't you fight him yourself? But so he gets chased a bunch. He ends up getting, I think he's on the floor and the beast's the Shriek's about to get him. And then he ends up admitting that everything he did was a lie and blah, blah, blah. Everything was just to expose unit. And then Ruby ends up tasing the Shriek and saving the day. But... but he still thinks that it's CGI. And he's like, oh, wow, there's some good special effects around here. Your special effects have gotten better. And then fucking gets his arm bit off by the Shriek. That was crazy. I kind of wish we would have saw more of that. Obviously, they can show more of that on Doctor Who, but... I love that. I love that little fucker got his arm bit off. Fuck you, Conrad. It just towards the end of this episode, like I said, it was snowballing through all this shit. I kept having to pause it to write down notes because it just felt like thing after thing after thing was happening with Conrad. After Ruby ends up tasing the Shriek and they take care of Conrad and everything's getting cleaned up, she ends up telling Kate she needs some alone time because she's stuck between, her boyfriend catfishing her, always waiting for an alien invasion with the doctor. She just kind of has to figure some things out. We cut to Conrad in a jail cell. He's got a new fake arm, which is pretty neat. Metal seal around the base. And he starts hearing the TARDIS land, and you go and look out the window, and he materializes in the TARDIS, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck's happening here? The doctor turns the corner and starts talking to Conrad, talks about how usually you need to be invited in here, blah blah blah, but I brought you in here, and then he just fucking lays into him. You hurt my friend. You're like, oh my god, this doctor seems pissed, and he's laying into him and laying into him, and Conrad doesn't seem impressed. He really doesn't seem to care, and he kind of throws a couple jabs back at the doctor, tells him, leave me in my prison and get off of my earth. And the doctor has a look there where he's like, I could rip you in half and build you back together as a fucking canine, okay? I will turn you into my robot dog and carry you around here, Conrad. So you better watch what you're saying. But yeah, that was an amazing scene. I loved that scene with those two. But this is where it gets very interesting. So after that, he sends him back to his cell. Some lady comes walking, jingling some keys. Who is it? Mrs. Flood calls herself the governor, and she releases Conrad from prison. Where the fuck is that going? Well, let me know down below what you guys think is going on with Mrs. Flood. Now she's got Conrad as a partner, I'm guessing. He gives big master vibes. Not saying he's the master, but I don't know. Mrs. Flood sees something in him, and maybe she sees the same as I do. I know it wouldn't make sense either because we saw Conrad as a little boy, but I'm just saying, his acting gave me the same vibes as that. Now, we have one final thing to talk about. In that fight with the doctor and Conrad, the Conrad mentions, he's like, oh, you've had a lot of friends, doctor. Have you met Belinda Chandra yet? That is where the doctor found out about Belinda Chandra and ended up going on to the robot revolution and finding her. And then now we're on that adventure. So Conrad sent the doctor on that adventure. Don't know what that means. I don't know where that's leading, but that I love the storytelling here of how we're getting mixed, we're getting information throughout different episodes out of time. Even just this episode, having Conrad see Belinda Chandra with the doctor first as a little boy, and then older seeing Ruby and the doctor together. I just love that kind of world building. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where all this is going, Mrs. Flood and Conrad. Maybe we'll see him next episode too. It's so funny because they said Mrs. Flood's in every episode, and I just, by the end of the episode, I always fucking forget, and then someone's walking up, and I'm like, oh, who's this? Oh yeah, Mrs. Flood, duh, obviously. Who'd you think it was going to be? If you guys remember a few weeks back, we went to Doctor Who Unleashed, and we ended up watching the trailer for Next On, so we're going to do the same now. Hopefully it's a bigger clip than it was last time, because last time it was about 10 seconds long.
On the next episode of Doctor Who.
I'm still loving the costumes. Every episode I'm loving the costumes so much. Auntie? Did he call that woman Auntie? That's interesting. I wonder what that means. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this episode. A lucky day. I really enjoyed it. This has got to be some of the best episodes back to back to back that we've gotten in such a long time. Yeah, I'm just really happy it's back. If you enjoyed this episode or you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what your thoughts are, and let me know what you think about Conrad and Mrs. Flood, or any other theories you have on Doctor Who. But alright, yeah. See you later, alligators.